Okay, go for it.
Okay, we are finally all set for the presentation. Awesome. Okay, welcome again. We're going to talk about palm oil today. I want to start off by opening it up to you guys and seeing what you already know about palm oil. Next slide. Yeah, awesome. So if you want to take yourselves off of mute or put in the chat anything you know about palm oil. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just want to get a sense for what you guys already know. It does grow on trees.
I think palm oil comes from
like
oh my god, that was an insane echo.
Okay. Issues with our
I was gonna say that palm oil when it comes from palm trees, they use monocropping, so it's not really sustainable to grow.
Sorry. Yeah, definitely. We're going to talk about that today a lot, actually. Anything else?
I know that it's in like a lot of things that you wouldn't even think about. Like it's found in almost everything.
Yeah, it's just insane how many products it's in. And some things that you would never even think that an oil would be in, like shampoo maybe. Anything else?
more chat. Next slide.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's start from the beginning. So what is palm oil? It is an odorless and colorless vegetable oil made from the fruit of oil palms. The particular species of oil palms that is most often used and commercialized to create palm oil is native to West Africa. So Nigeria is one of the exporters or producers of palm oil. But it was introduced to Malaysia in 1875, and as we'll talk about a little bit later on, Malaysia is one of the top exporters of palm oil. Two types of palm oil can be produced from the oil palm. So there's crude palm oil, which is from the flesh of the fruit, and palm kernel oil, which is from the pit of the fruit. Pretty self-explanatory. Palm it definitely has its downsides, but it also has some benefits. So it's an extremely efficient plant. It produces an insane amount of oil per plant, and it fruits year round. So it is, in terms of how much land it takes up, it is actually pretty efficient, especially compared, you can kind of see in the bottom left corner, compared to other vegetable oils. And because it's so efficient, it is very cheap compared to other vegetable oils. And it also contains natural preservative qualities, which means that it's oxidation resistant. So it's good for having a stable shelf life, a longer shelf life.
So as she said, palm oil is found, mainly in Southeast Asia, in Malaysia and Indonesia. I visited last year Borneo, which is one of the islands of Malaysia and Indonesia, and I drove across the country and saw just acres upon acres upon acres of what used to be rainforest turned into palm oil plantations. It's an extremely eerie thing, like looking out and just seeing rows upon rows upon rows when you know that it was supposed to be a rainforest. I visited a couple of orangutan sanctuaries where they had rescued orangutans and other monkeys that were about to be killed in their habitat. So palm oil, the way that they do it is they slash and burn most of the time a rainforest. So they have to completely clear a rainforest, and then they have room to create the plantation, which are these, it takes up a lot of space because they need a tree in order to make it. So between 1990 and 2010, as you can see, millions of acres of land were made into palm plantations in Southeast Asia. So they're really running out of space, and sometimes there is illegal plantations set up and can cause conflict. And it's just a really not good situation because they need money, but they also, are destroying their ecosystem. So it's a
Where does it go? So as Emmy was saying that like Malaysia is one of the biggest exporters. Some of the biggest importers are India, Pakistan, and the Netherlands. You can imagine India to be one of the biggest importers due to the population and because palm oil is so cheap. So it's a resource that's like more accessible to them. But the US, where we are at, we're not too far behind. We're in the 6th place of importing palm oil. One benefit is that it is a substitute for petroleum. So, a little bit more like sustainable compared to petroleum. However, biofuel doesn't necessarily mean that it is sustainable. Biofuel just means that it is made from plants. But then how are those plants produced? And so if you can I don't know, if you guys are on your phone or your computer, so this QR code that we input on our presentation will take you to a link. Sorry if I can show you guys. Okay. Nope, wrong one. Sorry. It's okay. So I'm trying to show you guys where that link will take you guys to. There we go. Yay. So what that link does, it'll take you to this website. And then it just kind of tells you where palm oil is going to and where it's coming from. So if you scroll to the bottom and right here, commodity codes, you could enter the code 1511 and then it comes out to the palm oil. And then you go down and you get data. And then right here is where that information is coming from. So as you can see, it's being exported from Indonesia, Malaysia, and then imported. Let's see, which one is it? Yeah. Let's see. Okay, there we go. And then right there, it tells you on the right side how much. So you can always go into this website yourself and just kind of look around, or if you want us to look up anything for you. I don't know. Does anybody have any questions about this? No? Okay. Yes, let's see. How do you want to help me, Camille? Because I'm still kind of new to this.
So here's the US down here. Can you all see? Yeah, you can. So you can see that the US imported a lot. What is that? A trillion?
A trillion, yeah.
A lot of money's
of
worth of palm oil. If you go, let's see, if we go up, we can sort it just by import. So we can see kind of the rankings. And then data.
This is a really cool website.
It's so
I'm like,
cool.
and not just for palm oil, right? It's like for
Yeah,
other.
you can search like any commodity. It's so, oh my gosh.
Okay.
If you're not a numbers person, just hang in there.
But you could always use this like as a source for like
Yeah,
other like classes
totally.
or something too. So
Okay, so here we go. So this is for the year 2019. You can go in and pick any year. No, it's totally. And then, yeah, as we were talking about, India, Pakistan, and the Netherlands, and then here's the USA in sixth.
all right. I don't know if you can hear her on the other side of the room. All right, back to the presentation. Okay, here we go. So yeah, that's some cool information for you guys right there. And then about where it's going.
All right. So 3 of the main impacts of palm oil. One is deforestation, which is like the loss of rainforest, and peatlands, which are kind of like carbon sinks. So they sequester a lot of carbon in these areas, and when they're destroyed, all of that carbon gets released back into the atmosphere, which is not good. Another thing is habitat loss. So orangutans, tigers, rhinos, and elephants, and like all are endangered due to palm oil and the destruction of where they live, and they have no more homes, which is really sad. Another thing is soil and water pollution. So the pollution from the plantations leak into nearby soil, like leaching into the ground, and this impacts the water and can also impact the local communities. Sorry, my tongue's getting all twisted.
Yeah. Okay, so more impacts or more environmental impacts from palm oil are soil erosion. This is one of the main ones because rainforests are cleared to make way for palm oil, and that's leading to reduced ground cover, which leads to a lot more environmental impacts. So that's a big one. And then also air pollution. Palm oil, what do they call it? Farms, I guess. They already are associated with poor air quality. And then once they're burned from slash and burn agriculture, that's leading to really horrible air quality. And then also burning rainforests. So a lot of bad air quality. And then also poor working conditions. So this involves child labor, dangerous labor, just horrible conditions to meet this high demand of palm oil. Thank you.
So as we said, basically this is in everything. Approximately 50% of all packaged products contain some form of palm oil. Francis is going to talk about the different ways that it can come up because they're super sneaky because they know that we know that palm oil is bad. So they are like, how can we confuse the consumer and make them still buy things? Well, let's change the name. That's what they said. So there's a ton of products. It's basically in a lot of chocolates. It's in a lot of our candy. It's in Oreos, unfortunately. It's in noodles. It's in soap. It's in bread products. There are basically you can see them all here, but if you look it up, there's a lot of them. But Francis is going to tell you how you can find them and how you cannot do that.
All right. It's just, we always have some sort of technical difficulties, but we're working around it. You guys are here. Shout out. Anyways, so yeah, palm oil, that's usually one of its names on there. But a lot of times these right here, that's how they're other producers will hide the name or make it seem fancy or something like a chemical, but it's just palm oil. And if you notice a lot, especially in shampoos, sulfate, sodium lauryl, I can't pronounce that, sulfate. So yeah, palm oil is usually in anything from cosmetics to food. And so one way that we can avoid it is just by kind of paying attention to these labels. I know that's kind of hard. It's like, oh, I'm going to the store, like I just want like a quick snack. I'm not gonna like sit there and read through the ingredients because honestly, we don't have time for that. Which is why we have a good alternative for you guys. This bottom QR code, I don't know if you guys can scan it from where you are. If not, that's okay. So what that is, it's a cool app that you can download, and it's called Palm Oil, and it's made or it's sponsored by the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo here in Colorado. And I don't know if you can, let me see if I can show you guys. So this is what it looks like on the phone, that little corner. Oh yeah. We can like give you guys an example. So you click on there and then it shows you like the little orangutans, and you just go to the bottom. And it just has a bunch of different information about palm oil. So you can like, there's two options at the top. It's the quick search or barcode. So like if you're just curious about a product, you can just like insert the name, and then it'll give you levels of how much palm oil it has or how sustainable. So like what's a good example? Hershey's, all right. Let's see. If I could spell it. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, that one's not coming up for me. I don't know. Yeah, let's just try chocolate. This is like, this app is super cool. Oh, there we go. And it like, so I don't know if you guys can see it. Does it look weird? No? Okay, so I just typed in chocolate and it gave me a bunch of different brands of chocolates. So Three Musketeers. So there's different colors. So there's like green, red, and orange, I believe. Oh no, green, red, and yellow will kind of tell you the levels of palm oil in that product. And so like this one, it says excellent. So this one, product name, Archer Farmers Granola. Sustainable palm rating, excellent. So that's just one way you can like see, or you can just like scan the like code on your product, and then it'll tell you if it's excellent or like partial or like very bad. And so that's one cool way, you know, when you're out shopping and like you'll see like what has palm oil and like how much. And so moving on.
So obviously it is a very controversial subject, and it has a lot of different layers on it. It has the local perspective on it, which is split because half of the locals are like, yes, we need this economic growth, but the other half is like, oh wait, but it's mainly globalized countries who are coming over, and the other people are like, oh wait, but our orangutans, and oh wait, but our products. So it's kind of like this whole thing. So also 40% of the palm oil production is local. So I mean, it is good that there is that much, but obviously that means there's 60% that isn't local. And I would probably bet that that is the 60% that is causing these huge problems, because they're probably the global companies. So there is a lot of different kind of thoughts around this. And some people think, you know, we need to completely ban it. Some people think we need to just create all sustainable. I know the island of Borneo, it has made a commitment to end any new production of palm oil. So that's something good, but it's also hard because it stunts economic growth in some ways. So
Okay, so can palm oil be sustainable? I don't really know. So there's a third-party organization called the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, and they certify farmers and producers for sustainably sourced palm oil. And so 19% of world palm oil is RSPO certified. That's a very small amount. And then some people say that RSPO certified palm oil is a scam. Like Greenpeace is one of those organizations. They say they're just not doing enough. And then maybe some of the organizations that are being certified should not be, like the mixed option. And then you can also check out their website. It's better than doing nothing. If you're going to the store, you can look for this logo to make sure that the foods you're buying that do have palm oil in it are certified. What happened?
Always forget to unmute myself. All right, so I would love for you guys to unmute yourselves and share your thoughts on this. And if you think that palm oil has the potential for being sustainable in the future, or if you even just have any questions on anything we've talked about, just share it out. Hi, Hannah. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Okay.
I mean, strictly speaking, from one of my jobs is I went to culinary school, so I didn't know that palm oil was a bad thing, but a lot of the chocolates I know that I work with does contain palm oil, so now I know.
Mm-hmm. I know it's so tricky because it is. It is like a good alternative. It's much cheaper than a lot of other oils, but I think the way that it's being produced and this mass destruction of rainforests and the management and the pollution is like not the right way to manage it. But I think, I don't know, I feel like there might be potential.
Yeah, I think that sorry, there's like 4 of us in the same room and like
I don't know if Frances is talking, she's muted.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Sorry, we were just trying to get it figured out. But we were saying that there's just a lot of different like tricky parts to it because a lot of the times, as Emmy's slide was saying, that it's like for a lot of people, like especially in Indonesia and Malaysia, this is like their source of income and like they're making a lot of profit off of this industry. But at the same time, it's causing like harm to the ecosystem. So it's just kind of balancing out that like our values between like human well-being and like the ecosystem, and like if we can figure out a sustainable way of producing palm oil without like affecting the ecosystem and all these rainforests, maybe it could have like a sustainable future. And that's where like politics go into it, not just like in the US, but it's like global politics. So it's just like, also like who do we support with all these companies that we're buying from. And so there's just a lot of different things to it, I believe.
I have a question. Camille, do you know if they're doing anything like for the animals that have been like displaced with all the habitat?
Yeah, I think I don't know for sure, but I think Emmy was talking about the orangutan sanctuaries, and I'm pretty sure I read some stuff about animal rights groups being involved and advocating for like bans or boycotts on palm oil. But I was really busy this week, so I didn't have time to like go super in depth.
Okay, I was just curious. No worries.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, and speaking of which, I really encourage you guys to do your own research on this if this is something you want to learn even more about and kind of explore the ethics of a little bit more. because it's definitely a really complex and controversial problem. And I feel like there's always more to learn about it. So this is just
kind of like a little intro.
yeah, just a
Food
little
for thought.
taste. Does anyone else have any other ideas or thoughts they want to share?
I do have a
I'm-
question. And
Oh,
like,
sorry.
oh, sorry, I'm talking about you. You go.
I'm not too. I missed part of the presentation. I'm not 100% sure how palm oil grows, but like
Mhm.
I know I'm doing a little project for one of my classes about chocolate cacao trees.
Mhm.
And one way they're trying to make it more sustainable is by using intercropping, which involves planting different types of trees since they tend to grow better in the shade.
Mhm.
So if there's a way to possibly make it more sustainable, maybe try to find like the best conditions in which the palm oil will actually grow and then like try to adapt to that. Because like
definitely.
chocolate, they also have times where like a lot of the farmers don't have enough income, so they have to do other things to be able to make the income for chocolate since the main companies want it cheaper and won't pay them enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could definitely be a potential solution.
And what I was saying was, I'd really like to know how those numbers are actually skewed, just because
Mhm.
I'm curious to know how many American companies aren't having it directly imported into the US and are having it imported into like India and having it put into like the Coca-Cola products or stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, we'll drop the like links that we were talking about into the Dropbox just so you guys can have that too.
Yeah. Thank you, Francis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing when I was looking at those numbers because I got kind of invested in that thing and really interested in just looking at different numbers and playing around with the dates and the import versus export. And I was thinking that about India, about like, I wonder how much of this palm oil is going to end up in the US because it's just being incorporated into products that are, being actually produced in India. And I think when I was looking at the numbers for 2000, because I wanted to kind of compare which countries were the biggest importers between 2000 and 2019, I think it was India and then China, and then I can't remember number 3, but India had like twice the amount of palm oil being brought in than China did, which was shocking to me. And this is like billions of tons of palm oil. It was just insane.
I think another interesting thing is like our shift like towards like we're shifting away from fresh products and we're shifting towards like pre-produced, pre-packaged products, and like that shift directly correlates with like why palm oil is such a thing, because it's like it's like we want things that are like can be stored for a long time, that can be like made in plastic and all that stuff. And that's the other thing, like when I went there, the plastic problem is so huge there because they are big producers of it, but also because they don't have the same like trash resources that we do. So we have the same amount of trash as they do. We just hide it better, So it's just super interesting to see, like, I think our shift in palm oil is representative of like our shift in our diet in general,
Okay, any other thoughts or questions?
No. We have 6 minutes left. Oh yeah. Do you want
Yeah. Well,
In the meantime, if you guys want to give our Instagram a follow, our Instagram is earth_UNCO. We always post about what we're doing and things like that. So if you guys want to give us a follow, you can always be updated through.
Talk about tomorrow.
Thank you.
Also tomorrow we're having a table from noon to 2 or 11 to 2 at the UC. So sometime in the afternoon, show up. And we're just registering people to vote and telling people about stuff on the ballot. We have lots of stickers and candy. So who doesn't love that? So we'll be in front of the UC. So come visit us because we met Penny the other week and it was life-changing. So
Yes, definitely. We would love to see you guys. Also, if I know, Lauren, you said that you missed the beginning, and I think Hannah did too. So we're gonna try and start uploading all of our presentations to YouTube. I'm still trying to get that figured out and all of the videos uploaded because I think we have videos on different computers depending on who presents that week. So it'll get there eventually. The first one is up, but it's just introductions. But you can find us on YouTube. It's UNCO Earth Guardians. And
We have our previous slides.
yeah, it's
Do you know where like Einstein?
Do you know where the campus commons are?
Yeah.
it's right next to that.
Oh, what is towards
Yeah. Do you know where the have you seen the fire pit on campus? Oh,
Not
gosh.
that I know of.
Okay.
like the bookstore?
Yeah, that's the UC.
Yeah. Where
Okay.
like the Zachariah like food area is to the other, if you get dining hall food,
Yes.
it's near there.
Yep.
Okay.